Welcome to our channel, where we update the most fascinating and surprising details of the hit series Beyond the Gates. In the episode aired on Wednesday, June 18th, a series of profound changes in the relationships between the characters pushed the story to a breathtaking climax. When emotions, secrets, and calculations overlap, characters familiar to the audience now reveal completely new aspects, creating a silent but haunting confrontation. And in that dense atmosphere, three separate stories intertwine, leading to a series of unpredictable consequences. Andre is the first to break the silence with an action that catches everyone's attention. He is not the type of person who likes to interfere deeply in other people's private affairs, especially when it involves personal emotions, a territory that he always considers sacred and inviolable. However, this time, with the increasingly obvious changes in Ted's behavior and emotions, Andre could no longer stand by. He had observed long enough to realize that Ted's lostness was no longer temporary but had become a dangerous pattern, capable of leading to serious consequences. From small changes in his eyes, gestures, to inconsistent reactions to specific situations, Andre saw contradictions, self-denial, and even confusion in his old friend's mind. No one else in the group dared to speak directly, because of reserve, because of social limits, or simply because no one was close enough to understand Ted's psychology as well as Andre. Therefore, he decided to be the first to ask questions, not with judgment, but with a sober, realistic perspective. He doesn't make choices for Ted, nor does he interfere with his personal decisions. But Andre does emphasize the consequences of lingering on ambiguous, unclear relationships, broken promises, and above all, the hurt Ted unintentionally causes to others, maybe even to himself. Andre's advice is not like soft advice but like a wake-up call in the midst of a confusing fog. He does it not for the satisfaction of interfering, but because he wants to see Ted return to himself, the man who was once steady, clear, and driven. While Andre uses reason to deal with emotions, on the other hand, Chelsea and Madison go the opposite way. They let their emotions guide them, accepting even the uncertain as long as their hearts still beat in unison. From two people who came together with skepticism, who examined each other through every gesture, every word, they have now entered a completely new stage of the relationship, where the connection is no longer based on empty words but on concrete actions. Madison used to be so rational that it seemed like her heart was locked. But Chelsea's patience and sincerity gradually removed those defensive walls. Every conversation, every time they faced hurt, every moment they were forced to face harsh reality became an invisible thread that tied them closer together. Chelsea is no longer someone who is always prepared for the worst, nor is she rigidly controlling her emotions. She accepts the risk, accepts to enter a relationship where there is no guarantee other than mutual trust. The biggest change during this period is not in the words of love, but in the way they clean up the past, let down their guard, and give each other a chance. The turning point comes when they both agree to live under the same roof, a decision that seems simple but has profound meaning. It is a complete acceptance of each other's true selves, with all the shortcomings and pain they have experienced. Each day that passes is a small challenge, but also a testament to their emotional maturity. And although the outside world is still full of prying eyes, Chelsea and Madison are still confident that they are on the right path, a path that has no way back but opens up countless new possibilities. In contrast to the warm atmosphere between Chelsea and Madison, Hayley is falling into an increasingly dense spiral of doubt as she tries to explain what is happening to Bill. Since he woke up from his long coma, everything seemed to have become terrifyingly different. At first there was relief, the usual feeling when a loved one overcomes death, but then a series of signs made Hayley feel as if she were living in a distorted reality. She realized that Bill was recovering too quickly, far beyond the doctor's predictions. He could stand up and walk, speak clearly, and even remember details that should have been affected by the injury. That, instead of bringing absolute relief, made Hayley feel a lingering unease. Bill's every action, every expression became the object of analysis. Sometimes he seemed to be hiding something, sometimes he was so transparent that it was unreasonable. She began to wonder about the people who had entered his hospital room. The video recordings from the hospital's surveillance cameras suddenly lost data. And even the head nurse. who had closely followed Bill's recovery, suddenly resigned without leaving any explanation. The deeper Hayley delved into the investigation, the more she was drawn into a complex maze of hypotheses and doubts. Was someone manipulating the treatment results? Is Bill part of a top-secret medical experiment? Or worse, is Bill himself playing a role he has never revealed? Hayley falls into a state of constant restlessness, not daring to fully trust anything she sees. Even Bill's eyes, the person she once trusted the most, now seem strange, as if reflecting some part of the truth that has not yet been revealed. But she knows that only by finding answers to the strange things that are happening can she regain control, not only of her relationship with Bill but of her own life. Each twist in the June 18th episode is more than just a plot twist, but also a reminder of the fragility of trust, the complexity of human relationships, and the price of hiding the truth. Andre, with his sharp mind, touches a dangerous blind spot in Ted's mind, opening up the possibility of change if he is willing to face himself. Chelsea and Madison have overcome the invisible barriers of the past to enter a new journey without a map, where everything is built on two words: trust. Meanwhile, Hayley alone faces the darkness of doubt and unrevealed secrets, to track down what is really going on behind Bill's miraculous recovery. The episode not only pushes the characters to the edge of endurance, but also leaves a series of unanswered questions, paving the way for even more dramatic developments in the following episodes. Will the truth be revealed? Will trust be betrayed? Or is it all just the beginning of a bigger storm that is silently gathering? Stay tuned and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any of the shocking, breathtaking, and emotional twists in the upcoming episodes of Beyond the Gates.